Thank you.
So we're here on behalf of South County High School. There was an event that happened recently involving, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Forgot to work this out. Too many things to do.
So there was an event recently of violence on campus and some racism on campus when an off-campus man entered campus flying Confederate flags, and he came to campus to retrieve his jacket that he had sewn to his girlfriend at the time. And when he entered campus, he assaulted an African-American student. There was no apparent reason to or behind his assault. Let's see here. And that was on Wednesday. And on Thursday, the faculty and staff arrived to find campus had been vandalized. And there were discussions on freedom of speech on campus because this is still for some reason or another, a very divisive issue. Sorry, I have my Christmas down there. But this is still a very divisive issue for some individuals. And the instances continue to escalate throughout the day, culminating in a fight between students with just a mild injury with no real medical attention necessary. And okay. So following the violence, it became clear to the principal that it was time for him to step in and kind of comment on what was going on. And so he rounded up approximately 60 students into a hall so they could all kind of discuss what had been going on and how it needed to be addressed. And there, once again, was a lot of personal kind of conviction behind what the students were saying. And the racial tension continued. And following that, I guess some of the tension spread into the cafeteria, resulting in a fight. And a girl ended up breaking her arm and was sent to the hospital for treatment. And if it's not obvious already, it's very clear that the PR team is going to be needed on this. There's a lot of people who can be easily offended or hurt by this issue, and we also need to make sure that the school is still seen and the principal is still seen as someone who is in charge of the students. And we need to make sure that we address this quickly to prevent future hostility and future outbreaks of violence.
We're going to do a quick situation analysis and just kind of see where we're at the moment. Here's just kind of a quick overview. As you can see, there have been a lot of incidents over those 3 days, a lot of violence, a lot of unprovoked attacks. The police were called twice to each attack. The original male was arrested for the assault on that first student as well. And so obviously there's going to be a lot of public debate. Today, obviously, racism is still a topic, it's still an issue, it's still current. And recently, over the past year, obviously there have been a lot of high press coverage, national press coverage on a lot of high profile cases that have happened that have had racial incidents involved. And so there's going to be a lot of news reports on that. As you can tell recently, in South Carolina, they had the Confederate flag removed from the state capitol as well. And so this is a very, very kind of hot topic for the press right now. And so with this incident happening, if we don't handle it correctly as a school, there's obviously a high risk potential for this to become, a news story, and it could progress to national news stories as well. There's going to be a lot of parental concern. Obviously, the parents, and we understand the parents were not informed directly from the school after the first incident on Wednesday. Things progressed on Thursday and Friday. Parents still haven't been provided any official information from the school. This is going to be a big concern for them. There's a lot of feelings we're going to expect from them. It's going to be anger, aggression. They're going to kind of feel betrayed by the school. It's going to be mistrust, because they have a relationship established. They send their child to school expecting them to be safe. And, if these incidents have happened and we haven't provided them with an explanation yet as to why these incidents have happened on campus, And so there's going to be a lot of questions about, child safety and things like that. Also, the atmosphere in general, it's very hostile on campus right now. As you can tell, students are very engaged in debates and they're, flying their opinions around. There's going to be fear amongst some of the students, especially those who have not really been directly involved but have heard about the incidents. They might be fearful to come on campus, especially those of a different race. They may be fearful they could be targeted by an attack as well. And so there's obviously a lot of escalated levels of violence. Also, social media could play a part as well. Obviously, most high school people are tuned into Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff, Instagram. And nowadays you've seen on YouTube, there's videos of fights in school and things like that. And so it's going to be and that's another thing we have to target as well as that, once one person posts something on social media, how rumors spread and they get shared and shared and shared and shared and kind of spirals into this whole big thing that's really not accurate to what happened. And so that obviously gives potential for damaging media reports, and then it obviously disrupts the relationship that was already established between the school and the parents as well. And also, obviously, these are some of the questions that we anticipate are probably going to be the most asked questions. Will our children be safe on campus? How can future incidents be prevented? How is the staff fully trained to handle these incidents? Because obviously police had to be called and things like that. And so it's just kind of what you would expect from parents and members of the community. And so it does show, looking at that as a whole picture, obviously there is a need for PR assistance. If this isn't handled correctly, it could turn into kind of a bad situation for the school. In our analysis, we did find some areas that we need to do some further research. We kind of really need to get a good opinion of the student body on how it's going to affect, are they affected by violence? Do they need counseling? Also, for parents, we need to know what their feelings are. How did the school handle the situation? They did call the police. Did they feel that was the appropriate action? All that kind of stuff. And also into the community demographic as well. We kind of need to know, to address the community, we need to know who's out there in our community. And so this leads to our campaign goal, which is for South County High School to be considered a safe, diverse, and non-tolerant establishment by the students, parents, and local community.
So now we're getting into our focus publics, and the first focus public we want to address are students, because the students are directly involved in this. So the thing we know about the students is that they're fairly susceptible to rumors. They are quick to spread gossip and don't always wait until a full story is developed to kind of get the facts about something before they talk about it. And so by addressing the students first, we'll ensure that rumors won't spread through social media, rumors won't spread through traditional media, and rumors won't spread to families to increase further concern about what's going on campus.
Our second focus public is going to be the parents. Obviously, they play a key role in the success of this campaign. They're going to be kind of a driving force behind, what's going to be put out there and kind of stuff like that. They're going to be concerned about their child's safety. They're going to be kind of a little bit upset over the lack of information. There's going to be kind of a damaged relationship. There's going to be some loss of trust for not being provided information. And also, there's going to be a lot of questions for them as well that have to be fielded and answered in the right way.
So our next focus public is the media. And we really want to make sure that we're transparent with the media and let them know what's going on, because that's another place where concern can kind of be increased and kind of fear-mongering can take place. And we really want to make sure that we don't make this something that the media feels they need to obsess over. And we don't want people to be camped out. We don't want like Channel 7 News and KETK and all those local stations to kind of be grouped up around the campus. And we feel like if we're transparent with them, then they won't feel the need to do that and won't attract further attention.
And our last focus public is going to be the local community. Obviously, this incident, especially the racial discriminatory incidents, it's not just isolated to school campus. This can spread into the local community as well. And obviously, we live in a world where people are very interested in what's going on everywhere else, on social media. And so just for the sake of getting involved in it, a lot of community members could get on a bandwagon, especially if there's a negative media campaign against the school. So it's really important to get the community support and for them to understand that we really are taking this seriously. And also the community holds future students, and that's another thing that could affect the quality of the school. If we have a bad reputation, parents may not want to put their students in that high school when it comes time. So our objectives for accomplishing our goal. Objective 1 is to inform and educate students of South County High School so they understand the importance of ethnic and racial diversity in an effort to prevent future violent incidents. We're going to do this by doing increased focus on ethnicity and racial diversity on campus through education. This is going to be delivered through lectures in classrooms, then interactive instruction and media content. Also, it'll be provided by the teachers. Obviously, they have an established relationship with the students. There's already trust there. They're going to kind of respect those teachers' opinions on this topic and things like that. And also, a direct relationship to them. The activities we'll do for this is first we'll establish an immediate education committee. We're probably going to get like 6 experienced faculty members and some of the senior administration from the school. We're going to try and get it, male, female, try and get them from different racial backgrounds as well to show the public that we're really trying to get, a widespread, evenly representative committee there. They'll be in charge of making kind of a short-term immediate debrief session for students to kind of make sure every student is aware of what happened and discuss what happened and kind of give them some tools to handle these situations. And also they will be in charge of selecting a long-term program that will be implemented permanently into the school's curriculum to kind of help prevent these incidents in the future. We'll integrate diversity education into all the social-related courses on campus, like healthcare classes, mass communication classes, anywhere that it could be slotted into effectively. And also we'll ask faculty staff to document further suspicious behavior on these incidents so that as we're implementing these programs, we can track to see has the amount of incidents on campus reduced since we've implemented this stuff. And after the lectures and stuff, obviously the students were required to attend the debrief sessions. There'll be a special podcast from the principal regarding the incident as well. We'll have all the students watch that to make sure they're aware of what's going on. And also about a month into implementing, these things, we'll do what's called a role play coaching course, kind of maybe the drama department can integrate, making role plays and teaching the students how you should react in these situations and how to react correctly. And also provide links and educational sites on our social media so parents also feel like they're involved in this education. They understand what their children are going through. And benchmark evaluations, quizzes, tests, that kind of stuff over what they've been taught. Like I said, we'll evaluate that through the quizzes, and also we'll do surveys on campus to see if students feel like safety and diversity is increasing, and also a monthly summary report of those incidents so we can obviously track how many incidents are being reported each month and see if it decreases.
Now onto our second objective, which is to support the students of the South County High School and ensure that they feel safe when they're on campus. And we like to all right, so we like to directly interact with students through counseling. By providing counseling, we can help students kind of hash out what's on their mind and kind of direct whatever energy they might have appropriately. And they're all one-on-one appointments, walk-in or group sessions, or walk-in and group sessions. And the counselors are going to be providing appointments one-on-one from 8:30 to 3:30. So students will have the opportunity to kind of say things that are more personal. And we'll have group sessions at 4 where we can either have students work out things that they have amongst each other or kind of address group issues. And we'll have surveys for the students to complete. And we'll be able to talk about if they feel the campus is safer, if it's diversity is something they support and believe in, and we'll also be able to kind of evaluate the counseling itself through opinion polls and through surveys to ensure that we're being effective in the way that we're approaching this.
Objective 3, this is going to be to provide accurate information to the parents of South County High School students so they will accept South County High School as open and honest. We're going to do this by first, we're going to do direct contact with the parents. Obviously, there's been a time lapse from the incidents to when they're being informed, so it's really important to focus on this. The principal will deliver detailed information in kind of a parent meeting. We'll send out letters and schedule 2 different times where parents can come in the evening on a weekday and on the weekend, depending on their work schedule and things. And so the principal can provide them with direct information about the incident. It's very important to be open and honest and direct to parents because, they're going to be full of questions and they know when you're trying to kind of fudge over a situation. So Also, you need to disarm any parents who are going to be upset or angry. You need to be prepared with questions and answers and things like that. We'll also do the direct letter and the conference dates. Also, we'll send an email to parents as well, just in case someone doesn't get the letter. People, use different technologies, so cover all bases on that front. And also, Principal Burdick, he will read the statement at the meeting and address the parents. And we thought about, providing them refreshments, a coffee or something like that to make them feel like they're being taken care of. Also, we'll do a Q&A session at the end. We'll have, PR representatives, Principal Burdick, and other people who can answer those questions for the parents. And also follow up with newsletters afterwards to keep them informed on, the progress of the education and things like that we're doing. And have the parents fill out an evaluation of that meeting to see if we really did provide them the information that they were asking for. And so that obviously will be surveys that we can put online. We'll monitor any trends or questions that are coming up frequently as well.
So our fourth objective is to provide parents with kind of peace of mind. We know that our campus and our staff are more than capable of reacting or responding to things like this, and that our campus is safe for the students. And let's see here. So once again, being open and direct with parents is very important to us. By doing so, we believe we can build our relationship with the parents. So we want to keep them in the loop. And to do this, we plan on letting them know the course of action we plan on taking. We also want to let them also have access to the counseling services to kind of have an opportunity to hash their own things out. And we also want to get them involved in social media, so that way they can kind of monitor the situation as it happens. We also plan to hold a Q&A session. That way the parents will be able to ask any questions that we potentially overlooked. And at the Q&A session, we'll provide coffee, and we'll have opportunities for the parents to meet with the principal. And we'll also have a survey for parents to assess and kind of give their opinion on the plan. And to evaluate this, we plan to monitor the results from the surveys. We plan to kind of gauge and monitor parental social media usage and interaction. And we also plan to kind of seek interaction or interpersonal face-to-face feedback. So,
Objective 5 is to provide the local media with accurate information and a plan of action in response to the violent incidents on campus in an effort to minimize unnecessary attention and exposure of false information. As you said, the media is kind of a big communication tool for us. It's not, we need to make sure they get information directly from the school. If we didn't hold a press conference and tell them what happens, if they catch wind of this story through social media, they're going to find their own way of getting this information, whether it's from us or whether they interview students in the campus or parents. And then they're going to get a lot of concern and anxiety and all that kind of information, as opposed to hearing about, yes, this did happen, but we do have a plan to fix it and this is what we're going to do. So we do need to gain media support for that. We'll do the press conference in the gym. Principal Burdick will read a statement, and obviously we'll have PR representatives' information available for any questions afterwards. We will invite all the local media, and we'll give them a copy of our proposed action for, implementing the education plan, the committee, and all that we just discussed. And also they'll have a question and answer session with the principal and PR team at the end to get let them get all the information they want at one time. That way they're not fishing later on for other information. And also we're going to evaluate this. We'll follow local media reports. We'll flag any national news reports if it does happen to make national news, and see if there's anything else we need to do. We'll monitor, newspapers online and social media, and make sure that all the facts are accurate, that they're being reported.
So our final objective is just for the community at large. We want to make sure that all the information they get is accurate, and that they understand the plan of action we are going to be taking in response to this event. And once again, just being direct with the community, as we've been direct with every other group, is important. They're open, or they're welcome to come to our open town hall with the principal, and we want to kind of restate and emphasize the fact that we're not being tolerant towards actions like this on campus. And we plan to reach out to the community at large through flyers and through invitations to pretty much everyone in the community. We'll have local law enforcement present for security, just in case things do get heated, because this can be a heated topic. And we'll be having a survey and a Q&A for them as well. And yes, we'll have frequently asked questions, kind of flyer we can hand out, and we can gauge to see what things we need to be prepared to address in the future, and we'll also have new approaches to the lower scoring areas. And so the timeline we plan on taking in this.
Wrap it up.
So we want to respond to this immediately, and as we progress, we'll have evaluation periods and long-term responses to be implemented to make sure things like this don't happen in the future.
And there's a timeline included on the packet as well as detail when things would, be implemented. The budget, this is how we kind of divide it up. Obviously, there's a lot of flyers and handouts and educational documents. So, we put a lot of money in copying, marketing. We would advertise, short things, mailing things out to people. Obviously, the committee may need a budget for, purchasing educational curriculum requirements, and then obviously supplies, and then the refreshments for the meetings as well.